All right. Well, I know this is something that you guys are waiting early in the morning to watch. Yes, we got the Pocket Change Market Report for March 16, 2022. This is your midweek edition. How's the market shaping up? No, really, tell me. How do you guys think the market's shaping up right now on a lot of these coins? We know the actual high grade rarity market is just a exploding thing happening right now, and there's no other way to describe it. It's just a magical thing to watch. I like I said before, it's a great time to be alive if you're in the hobby. We're seeing all parts and aspects of numismatics, even precious metals, rising to meteoric levels. All right, and yeah, we all get to see and kind of witness. If you guys own these coins, it's even better yet because your collection is enhancing in value with each passing day. You're finding that a lot of the activity these days would be deemed volatile. You ask most people, very volatile market. But when you're at the dealer level, now I've talked to a few dealers this past week. They're just having a heck of a time finding quality items that they could add to their shop. And some of them are even going as far as to cherry picking a lot of the coins that you're seeing in here today. Yes, maybe the dealers are finally starting to change their tune a little and actually go through their bulk stuff. Which, it is what it is. And now, there are a lot of dealers that do that anyways, all right? But I think with the change in the overall just perspective of the market, people are starting to do extraordinary things to kind of squeeze the blood out of a turnip. So they're looking at their own inventory. And God bless them. They're supposed to do that anyways. But the Pocket Change Market Report is solely dedicated to the market of raw, ungraded errors and varieties. You guys know this. Each and every single 3 days I throw up this video, and it's one of the most popular in the coin YouTube space. And I'm glad to be able to present this to you. Now, these are all sales from the last 24 to 36 hours. Again, do not grade your coins. It doesn't make any sense. If they're a lower value, why grade that $20, $30 coin? All right, when you know it's going to cost you $60, $70, $80 to get it attributed by PCGS or NGC. We're just going to focus solely on the cherry pick, the find, the discovery, and then turning around and selling it as it sits. All the pictures are raw to each individual seller. So obviously we're going to come across photography that's a little bit out of focus, maybe a little bit dark, but that's okay. We'll all get a little bit of a lesson. And kind of show you guys what the low bar is when it comes to imagery on your listings. All right, so we have a pretty nice group. We got 33 lots to talk about here. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first one. Courtesy of Coins and Cards, one of my favorite eBay sellers, if only because this seller sells, again, all these coins that some would say should be in a graded slab. Come to find out that there is an individual, an online dealer out there that actually sees the beauty in collecting raw material, myself included. I'm not really big on graded coins. I prefer to assemble sets and all that great stuff and keep it raw. And we're even seeing raw coins that shoot up into the stratosphere. 1867 over 67. Beautiful Indian head cent here. It's in really, really nice high grade shape. Conservatively, I would put this one at about AU 53. If I had to guess, there are 3 diamonds at the very least on Liberty's little ribbon there with a partial 4th diamond. And this one right here is, not only does it exhibit that overdate, but you can see it also has a really nice clash as well. So you get that reef that's clashed on the obverse die. There's a little close-up. You can see that other 7 poking through to the north of the other 7, the actual 7. And same with the 6. All right, so for those of you that aren't aware, back in the heyday of the production of these coins, the numbers were individually punched into the working die, one by one. All right, and that's why you get these repunch dates, and sometimes it only affects maybe one or two of the numbers. If they accidentally miss their target spot for the punch of that numeral, they'll repunch it again. Same with like mint marks. So this beauty right here sold for $747.50 through 39 bids. Phenomenal coin right here. Again, proving to everyone out there, you do not need to grade your coins if you don't have to. I figure, a coin like this, which might have a little bit of like surface corrosion on there, as you can see in between the numbers and the little deep pockets of the protected areas of the coin, is a really raw and very wholesome coin. It would look great in an Indian head cent collection, and not just any Indian head cent collection, a one that is a little bit higher end, in the grand scheme of things. Beautiful coin. All right, the Indian head cent is a tough act to follow, but we have 1970D right here, Lincoln Memorial cent. You look on the reverse, you can see that there is some weakness in the strike. Perhaps a little bit of a strike through. The normal strike through for this type is going to be a little bit of grease on the die. So when there's that grease on the die and it strikes through onto a coin, it's going to show a lot of weakness in some of those devices, as we can see here. Also affecting the top of the Lincoln Memorial. This is an incredibly innocent looking coin. I'm sure a lot of people like you and I have spent or thrown into a jar at one point. But now you have a reason to look for these, because this one sold for $11.50, and that's with 6 bids. This was organically bid up in a regular auction. All right, we're coming back to coins and cards here. We have another beauty. So between this one and the 67, they were kind of sold like hand in hand. We have a 64. This is the L on ribbon bronze, and it also has just a really magnificent clash dies. You can see it a little bit on the obverse here in front of Liberty's face, but you see a lot of it on the reverse. The L on the ribbon is right here, and that's the one that you want. It's the more scarcer type with the L on ribbon, and just a beautiful coin. Again, we're talking a high grade territory here. This one I'm willing to say is more of an XF 45. You got like two and a half diamonds on that ribbon right there, but all in all, this puppy right here is a beautiful coin. This one sold for $522.22 with 44 bids. 22s, and 44s. Pretty crazy. Now here is what I expect to be a large date 1982 bronze Lincoln Memorial cent. This one is off center by about 60%. Nice, beautiful coin, but it also displays one thing. These line striations here, this is not a woody. This was actually a byproduct of dirty rollers when it was rolling out these strips. And it will show as that those parallel, well-formed lines there. But other than that, if you're looking for this date, unfortunately, we don't know what the mint mark is, but we do know it's a large date 82 bronze, which, that's most of the work there, considering that there are a number of different date varieties for this particular date. This one ended up selling for $19.50 with 14 bids. Beautiful coin. And coming from the same seller, we had shown one of these last week. This is a 1978 Jefferson nickel that was struck inadvertently onto a planchet intended for a penny. You can tell just from the overall just redness of the color of this coin. It's a lot smaller as well. Some of those outward periphery devices like Liberty and the motto and the date are all cut off on this one, and that's kind of like one of the beacons of determining this type of error. This one, beautiful coin, again, sold for $233.50, and that's with 35 bids. Keep in mind, similar coins like this have sold for around that same type of money, graded. So if you're thinking about going out there and obtaining one of these, because they are a neat error, okay? It's one of the more unique errors out there where you have the off-metal strikes But this is a coin right here, ladies and gentlemen, that you don't necessarily have to go and buy a graded coin. It really depends on where you go stick the thing. You can put it in an error set collection. That's all raw. You have to kind of determine that. But this is a beautiful coin, highly investable and very valuable. And they're going to continue to be that. All right. They will continue just that same kind of price point in the marketplace, especially for the more modern ones. But I wouldn't mind having one of these in my collection. Quick little update, 2022 $25 bank box. This is a full box here of 2022s. All from the same seller. We've seen the same seller sell these quite a few times, and this one ended up selling for $101 shipped. So it's still following that trend. I mean, it's a hot commodity right now. If you're able to obtain these at the bank, you can actually do really well if you did not want to crack open these. There haven't been any major errors to speak of on the 2022 Lincoln Shield cent, so that's something to keep in mind. It might just be worth it to flip it. Kind of hard to say. Although we might see more errors in future productions. Here's a 1983, this time a Denver minted Jefferson nickel. This one's off center by about 75%. Good looking coin, again, very high grade example. This one sold for $22.50 with 8 bids. Keep in mind that people collect these by date, so they'll assemble a whole date run of a specific series. And, there are target dates that are a lot more scarce than others. And here's 1983 Washington quarter. This one's off center by about 30%. Another beauty, but we just don't know what the mint is. I've seen these in both Philadelphia and Denver's in the past. This one sold for $63 with 19 bids, which is a really good amount of money considering that you don't really have a full date. You know what the date is, but we don't know what the mint mark is. And, that can be something that'll hold up most buyers from pumping more money into these. And then our final of this trifecta of off-center strikes, we have a 1996 P Roosevelt dime. Another good one here. This one right here is, I would say, the least spectacular of the three for obvious reasons. It's a Roosevelt dime, and it's not nearly as nice as the other two. This one sold for $25.40 with 4 bids. All right, we got a small little lot of Jefferson nickels. These all have some sort of defective planchet or lamination or something to that effect. We have a 1960. That's a top coin there. That's actually a coin that has a lot of really nice personality. And then your affected areas on the reverse, it looks like a little bit of a lamination. We also have a 1949, what looks to be San Francisco. That's the bottom left coin there with a lamination. And then finally, we have a 1948 with more lamination. So this 3-coin set right here ended up selling for $24.99. So if you did not want to sell these as singular coins, you could always do small little lots like this, and then the shipping will still be really cheap if you want it to be. All right, so we're going to shoehorn another off-center struck Washington quarter, this time a 1984 P, a date that you don't see too often. There looks to appear to be a little bit of a partial tilted collar. Not much of one. I really don't see a lot of the railroaded kind of edge as you would expect on there. This one sold for $22.30, and the coin looks like it's circulated a little bit, so it's not a premium example of this date if you're looking to obtain one for a set. Now, this is one right here that'll escape most people's grasp. It's 1936 Lincoln wheat cent. It's not a rare date at all, so don't think that, even though it's from the 30s. Yeah, but we got a little bit of a strike through right here on the left side, right over the wheat stalk and then part of US of A. So, yeah, that I would say has fallen through many people's hands at some point. Where now, really takes an astute kind of collector. Excuse me. Yeah, my allergies are going bonkers, with springtime. Always does every year. This one sold for $11.50. That's with 11 bids. So make sure you're looking out for these. That's a $10 bill, ladies and gentlemen, when you do find it. Now, this is one of the cooler lots. All right. So this is a 1959 4 coins. Yes, I said 4 coins. All right. The middle coin there, that's actually silvery color. It's actually a comparison coin. But we have a group of 4 Black Beauty Jefferson nickels, which is, as of right now, I believe one of the last final reported dates of Black Beauties. I think there might be one other one in the 60s, but this is not environmental damage, all right? A lot of people are finding these 70s, 80s, 90s nickels that are dark in color, but that's only because they were chemically altered or environmental. They came from the ground, and they'll have that corrosion on there. These 4 coins, by the way, guys, are mint state examples. These all came out of rolls, all right, and they all came out this black color. So the blackness of the nickels is as a result of improper annealing on there. So the heat factor prepping these planchets really did a number on these. There are a number of dates. There are a few that are more scarce than others. 59 is one of the more common ones, and that's why we have a lot of 4 here in this listing. All selling for $64.59. Not sure if the seller is adding in the normal 1959 that you see in the middle, but that'd be a nice little bonus, just so you have something to compare to. And one of my favorite dates to cherry pick, although it's getting progressively tougher because this is a very popular variety. We have a 1939 double-to-die reverse Jefferson nickel. And this one is the doubled Monticello, however you pronounce it. It's got the doubling on the reverse. We'll see that here momentarily, but a few things to note. There are a few little rim bumps on here, so it's the imperfect coin, but it's got a lot of really nice meat on the bones. It's not like a super slicker. Upon closer examination, the seller did a really great job capturing the close-ups of the doubling on not only Monticello, but 5 cents as well. This is one of the most just insanely dramatic double dies that you will come across in the Jefferson nickel series, if not every series of this time. This one right here is sold for $65, which I think is a little bit of a bargain. Normally with this kind of level of detail and just overall cleanliness of the coin, I've seen these sell in excess of $100. So this is a really good buy right here. Off-center is getting more love this week, and we have a 1998 P Washington quarter. Just another beautiful example. Stunning, brilliant, lustrous, just sexy looking coin right here. It's not a date that you would come across either. This is one of your more tougher dates. 98, of course, is the last date before we head into the Statehood Quarter Series, where we see less of these type of off-center errors. And this one right here sold for a $50 bill. If you could believe that, $50 for this one is going to end up in a really nice collection. All right, we got 63. All right, what's a 63 over 3? That does not exist. That's not the actual, I guess, namesake for this variety. It is a double-to-die obverse, however. It's also FS 101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. So the 63D Lincoln has that extra spike of the 3. That's actually that middle kind of point of the 3 that's been doubled. So the last 3 has been doubled or shifted a little bit. On some earlier state examples, you can actually see the bottom curl of the 3 jut out here a little bit. I own a few myself that I've found over the years. Not a particularly rare variety to find. So if you guys are going through Lincolns, even in a little bit lower condition coins, this is obviously a mid-state red, but lower condition examples still, will fetch some money. This one right here, sold for $39.95. I think that's a really good amount of money because this is a very, very common variety These often are found in change and in bankrolls quite frequently. Can't believe this is our first curved clip coin of the group, and we're already through over half of the list. But we have a 1941 Lincoln wheat cent. It's got a really nice curved clip. You can even see traces of a Blakesley effect right here above the word "we" in the motto. And this one right here is in really nice shape as well. It's sold for $30. Well done, very nice. All right, currency time. We have a 1988 $1 bill. A relatively modern date bill that still found me. I found an 85 the other day and change. That someone had handed to me. I didn't actually go to the bank and ask for dollar bills. I got that at a store or something. So they are still out there. However, finding one that has a partial wet ink transfer. In this case, it's a front to back style wet ink transfer. There's a little bit of leftover ink on the impression cylinder that ended up transferring onto the subject sheet at one point. But there you go. That's what that one looks like. Always a great and very valuable error to find in some of the earlier notes. This one sold for $39 with 11 bids. And again, more off-center love, this time a Jefferson nickel. No readable date, but boy, this one is in really nice shape. It's not clean. There are a lot of die file lines on this one. That really show its character, not only on the obverse right in front of Jefferson's face, but on the reverse too. It looks like it's raining in, on the back of that coin, which is, I think, is a really neat look. This one right here is sold for $32.50 with 4 bids, which is a very, very high amount considering it has no date. All right, but I think the overall look of the coin is just one that demands a little bit of attention in the marketplace, and it sure did at $32. All right, so the next couple coins are going to be obviously half dollars, but these are coins traditionally that are overlooked by a lot of people. A lot of people that like to coin roll hunt half dollars will look at this and just fling them on down, and then these get sent to the bank constantly. 1983. This one is the Philadelphia Candy half dollar. So we got some obvious rim issues here. Looks to be that it is a little bit either of a partial tilted collar or a tapered planchet. So you see a little bit of the weakness here under the date, which is quite interesting. It doesn't have a full rim, but you have a full rim up here. It really doesn't look too much like a misaligned die, although the reverse strike is pretty well centered on there. Kind of hard to say. It could be a myriad of different things. I'd like to see the edge of this coin if it came down to it. This is all that we were working with here in this listing. But again, a very interesting coin, sold for $20. Really, seriously, guys, you're going to go out there and try and find silver, which is getting tougher to do these days. And you're going to overlook stuff like this where it's worth like 3 silver half dollars. It just blows my mind. You guys need to reconsider some of your searching techniques and add stuff like this. This is a very minor error, by the way. Now, this one right here is more obviously a misaligned die. You can see how off-center the front of the coin is, but the back is centered. Again, the dies were the obverse die was a little loose, so it struck the coin a little bit off-center on the front while keeping the back well-centered. 73D. And again, this is another coin to look out for. This is a $50 bill. Yeah, you heard that right. This is a $50 bill here. And I'm willing to bet 95% of roll hunters, they pass stuff like this up all the time. And that's really sad. It just shows to your your lack of numismatic experience when all you're looking for is silver. But this right here pays for a number of silver coins. You could sell it and then buy more silver, right? I mean, that's kind of the premise that we're after here when we're searching through half dollars. Might as well deliver a bit of the hard-hitting information that's necessary for you guys to be successful. All right, we did find another one of these Wisconsin low leaves. Now, a little bit of a recap. These are Denver's. You don't find these on Philadelphia's. In addition, these were found in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas region of the U.S. back when they were distributed in 2004. There were high leaves and there were low leaves. The low leaves are a little bit more common. All right, that's what this one looks like here. Me personally, I think it was an intentional add-on to a few of the dies. But this is, again, just a really great, very liquid coin. If you're able to find it, they're an easy sell. This one sold for $74.98, and it's very well circulated. You can see that. It does have a little bit of luster, which I think makes this one a little bit better than some of the others I've seen recently. All right, quick little update on our good old Maya Angelou quarters. And this is actually a 3-coin progression set. So it has the drooling little die chip on the corner of Washington's mouth. We have the small, large, and the more extreme version all in one listing. So if you're looking for a progression set, come to find out these are very common, by the way. So if you're out there looking for these, you shouldn't have too much trouble. And they only are found on the Philadelphia minted coins. So keep that in mind. So this 3-coin set sold for $31.05 with 11 bits. Now here's a really nice obsolete 1917D Standing Liberty quarter. The coin looks like, honestly, to have been cleaned. But the most remarkable part about this coin is it does feature a little bit of a rim clip. Right, you can see that there, a little bit of flatness here under the date for the Blakesley. Again, you know, the jury's really out if a minor error like this will enhance the value of a coin or make it worth less. You know, there's that argument that people have talked about for years about things like laminations on key date coins or clips or things of that nature, and they just don't want them. All right, and you know, it has to be a really wild, like, off-center error on the 1914D Lincoln. That'll make it a lot more appealing. But anyways, this one ended up still selling for a good amount of money in spite of its condition. $121.99 with 3 bits. Ain't nothing. All right, well, if you guys aren't looking for these in your banknotes, I don't know what to say. Yeah, this is a Super Radar fancy serial number $1 bill on a very well-loved, very worn $1 bill. This is a heck of a find. And to make it even better, it's got the prefix, suffix, GG block on there, which I think it gives it a whole new level of just awesome. But yeah, a dollar bill found right out of change that looks like a rag. All right, what does this thing sell for? $80.58. Oh boy, with 5 bids. There were a number of interested parties in this one. Again, Super Radar is a palindrome. It's also a binary, not by the traditional sense, because binaries are 0s and 1s in fancy serial number collecting. But yeah, we have the bookend 9s and then all the 0s in the middle, which is what they call a Super Radar. Just a beautiful, beautiful fancy serial number on a very ugly, ugly note, and I'm okay with that. Hey, presidential dollars. You guys remember these? You know, Pepperidge Farm remembers, but I don't. I try and avoid these coins, but, you know, if it push came to shove and, you know, pickings are slim, I suppose you could look for these. Apparently, banks still have these in their vaults that are just going to be sitting there for a while. But we have Andrew Johnson. And I forgot the date of this particular one. This might be an NIFC date or president. I don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because it's got the missing edge lettering, which also holds the date. And it's not on there. So I couldn't give you what the date is. And neither could the seller. So yeah, that's my bad. But apparently this is one of the more tougher dates for the missing edge lettering. This one sold for $36 with 19 bids. Wow. A lot of value packed in some of these presidential dollar coins. I would suggest that if you are into it, you look out for these, and they will reward you handsomely. Here's a really cool early variety. 1855 with the slanted 5s. This is the braided hair. Yeah, braided hair, right? Braided hair, large cent. It's got the knob on ear, which is just a really big die chip. They come in a few different sizes and shapes. This one's pretty nice. This one right here, realized $231.39, which is a good looking coin. Again, it does have a few condition issues that, you know, at this stage in the game, when you're collecting large cents, you just kind of have to expect it. They're not all perfect coins because those command a huge market. All right, another tough date here, 1967 Lincoln Memorial cent. This one's off center by, I would say, 65, 70%. A nice, really even, solid brown. And I'm willing to bet there are a few people that need this for their date set. This one sold for $48.78. Now, for the fortunate few of you that actually look for the BEP straps and bundles and bricks, all right, you might come across a full $100 face value of high print run star notes. If that were the case, then well done. You know, you could easily just nearly double up your money by selling a full $100 bank strap. Just nice, crispy. Looks like it was just freshly cut and, you know, with the sleeve applied on there. But this is, yep, directly from the BEP to your hands. And yeah, this is 100 star notes. Again, high production run. Sold for $197.50. So if you don't know what to do with these, and they wouldn't be worth grading, by the way, I would probably end up entertaining selling it. You know, I don't know if the graders are grading full straps. I'd have to say yes, but don't hold me to that. I haven't said anything to PMG or PCGS currency in quite some time, so I couldn't address that with you. But this is a really cool kind of thing to come across. You know, if you did, you know, you just know that you can make a lot more money than face value for this. All right, I'm telling you once again, off-center obsolete coins, Indian head cents, Buffalo nickels, Mercury dimes, so on and so forth. Any of them that are problem-free and look like this with a full date are kings in the hobby right now, and people are looking for these. There's a lot of viewers, a lot of watchers on these type of error listings, and if you're able to scoop one up at a reasonable price, that would be a huge win in my book. 1908 Indian head cent here. It's off center by about 25%. Can't say it enough. The beautiful, beautiful coin. Born from a completely different era in time. This one sold for $295 with 28 bids. There are graded, lesser, spectacular versions of this like a year ago that sold for about the same money. So this is an uncertified example here at almost $300. The market is just speaking volumes for these right now. All right, so the most surprising listing of the week has to be this 1960 large date Lincoln Memorial cent. All right, the only interesting part about this coin, and this is what the seller leveraged for the sale, is going to be that little stupid die chip in the 9. You see that right there? That little chip that's filled in that top curl of the 9? Yeah, that's what kind of sold this one. This one managed to sell for $44.99 with 28 bids. Keep in mind the coin is in really nice high-grade shape. Make it for what you will. $45, I would say I would sell every single one of these for as much money as I can if I knew, I guess I know now, the market for them. So something to be aware of. All right, so we got a key date alert on an off-center Washington quarter, this time a 1988p. This one's off-center by about 15%. It's in relatively good shape. It does have a few rim bumps in certain areas, so it's, again, the imperfect coin. $76.58 through 25 bids. A coin that I don't come across in the auction world too much. 88s and I would say 87s are quite scarce also, but 88s are one of the more scarce of the 1980s off-center strikes. If you're able to find it, you could sell these right away and make pretty good money off of it. And the final coin of the week is going to be this thing right here. Some will say and see ugly with a lot of things going on to it, and some will see just absolute beauty. This is a coin, ladies and gentlemen, with multiple errors, and I couldn't be any more happier to share this one with you today. 1984p, Jefferson nickel. Now, you guys take a quick look at it and tell me what you see on here. All right, really, just let me know. And I can tell you right now, all right, not only do I see multiple rim cuts and full cuts on there, but I also see a really cool die clash that's on both sides of the coin. Let's go ahead and start with the obverse. All right, you have a really strong clash die. Not only that, this is something you don't see too often. You also have the word Monticello or Monticello clashed on the obverse die as well. You can see that right here. You can see a few of the letters. Furthermore, you're going to see this full cut at the base of Jefferson's bust. You see a multitude of various smaller, little skinny rim cuts. And then here's a nicer size one right by the word God. That's the obverse of the coin. Now let's take a look at the reverse here in a second. You have a really spectacular, very strong clash right there. And then you have another just really good sized rim cut right here by Unum. So this is a coin that at first glance people look at and say it's a perennial beater. And I couldn't disagree more. This is something that is spectacular. Number one, it shows just what the final byproduct is of a really, really bad set of dies. We're talking probably close to being terminal. I suppose you could spend a little bit more time examining the coin to see if there's any like major cracks, die cracks, things like that. But this is just a phenomenal modern era multi-error coin that you want to be on the lookout for. This one, I think, sold for a little bit of a bargain at $114.19 with 12 bids. This, to me, looks like a coin that could be $200 to $300 all day long. Now, if this same occurrence was found on, say, a proof nickel, wow, you guys better be ready for a coin that'll sell in excess of $1,000, maybe even $2,000 for the same anomalies on there. But yeah, with ugly comes treasure, and that's ultimately numismatics for you. There are a lot of ugly things that we come across, but a lot of hidden value as well, like that super radar $1 bill that didn't look like anything special, but came to be that it's worth a tank of gas for a lot of people, So yeah, great coin to kind of end things on here. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you have a favorite this week? Because I had multiple favorites. A lot of good stuff being found by folks like you and I. And there are treasures to be found. And furthermore, it's a lot of fun to enhance your collection if you're able to just go out and cherry pick or go through bankrolls. That's going to go ahead and do it. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget, as always, to like, share, and subscribe to my content if you enjoy it. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.